Tonight, a tornado watch and severe thunderstorms. Trees down, power out, homes and businesses flooded. We'll show you some of the damage. In Watertown, trash barrels and mops out at Watertown High after the torrential rain brought down ceilings, and a fatal one-car crash on Route 81 in southern Jefferson County.
You're watching the North Country's news station. 7 News this evening starts now. Live from downtown Watertown, here's Jeff Cole.
Good evening, I'm John Moore. Tonight, a tornado watch is still in effect across the North Country, but it looks like the worst is over. A line of severe thunderstorms left widespread damage in its wake, especially in Jefferson County, including downed trees and wires and thousands without power. We'll have much more on that damage coming up shortly. But first, over to John Kubas for a review of what hit us and what's next. John.
Hey, John. Yeah, we had one line of very powerful thunderstorms roll on through a couple of hours ago. Another line rolling through as I speak. Let's talk about the first line first, if you will, and check out the Doppler radar. And I've set it in motion for the past 3 hours so you can see some of the intense reds and yellows moving through Lewis County about 2-3 hours ago after the 3 o'clock hour. That's when those tornado warnings were issued for portions of Lewis County. No confirmed tornadoes, but there was a little bit of a Doppler radar indicated rotation associated with that line of powerful thunderstorms that rolled on through around 3:15, 3:30, 3:45-ish. As far as any storm reports over the last 6 hours, they're in the city of Watertown right here. Around 2:25, thunderstorm wind damage with a large tree down in Watertown. I'm sure there's numerous trees down here in the city. Thunderstorm wind damage in Turin at the 3:27, trees and wires down for you as well. 3:29 in Watson and Lewis County, trees and wires down, courtesy of that line of thunderstorms. And even up north in St. Lawrence County, Fullerville, dealing with a tree down on a road around 2:45. And also up in Heuvelton, trees down, courtesy of those thunderstorms that rolled on through. And that occurred at around 2:06. As far as the current watches, like you mentioned a couple of minutes ago, John, tornado watch in effect until 9 p.m. I think for the most part, the threat for any tornadic activity has left the region. Now, with that being said, there's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for where you see the yellow on your television screen. And that it looks like to be east of the city of Watertown, eastern portions of Jefferson County, and north central portions of Lewis County. And that'll occur until, or that'll expire, I should say, at 6:30. With damaging winds, the biggest problem, and there is the potential for some hail as well. Lakeshore flood warning in effect until Wednesday night for Jefferson County and also Oswego County, as well as those winds will really be picking up behind that cold front. All right, heaviest of the rain right now looks to be Watertown and points north and east, and there's also some gusty winds being reported from this secondary line of thunderstorms rolling on through as I speak. So let's wrap it up and check out your forecast for tonight. By 9 p.m. maybe a leftover shower, possibly a thunderstorm, bit of a breeze as well. By 2 a.m. 63 and partly cloudy. By tomorrow around 7 a.m. we'll be enjoying some sunshine with temperatures falling back into the lower 60s. Little taste of fall headed our way over the next couple of days. We'll talk about that forecast here in a couple of minutes.
All right, thank you, John. Well, the severe storms raced through Watertown in a little less than 2 hours this afternoon, quickly causing damage to trees, power lines, and buildings. 7 News reporter Chris Spiker is live outside the Massey's Furniture Barn warehouse on Cedar Street to show us some of the damage in the city. Chris.
John, in a matter of minutes, water from this storm rushed into the warehouse this afternoon. Now, the owner of Massey's Furniture Barn says the fire department was so busy on other calls that the workers had to take matters into their own hands and get the water out themselves. It's not what you expect in the furniture business. Pumping inches of flood water into the sewer to save about $1 million of merchandise in the warehouse.
It actually rains a lot over Arsenal Street Bridge, so the water travels right down the railroad tracks and comes out down near our warehouse. It was such a flash flood that the water came right down the road and right into our loading dock.
Severe thunderstorms raced through Watertown Tuesday, knocking down trees into power lines and shutting down roads throughout the city. This tree on Holcomb Street came inches away from falling on a house. This fallen tree shut down South Meadow Street, and so did this tree over South Massey Street. National Grid crews worked on power lines over Arlington Street after this tree fell across Riggs Avenue. A woman was stuck in her home as crews disconnected live wires.
She's up there on her window now because the fireman said she can't come out. These trees are a hazard, and if we have a bad winter, all three are coming down.
Once the rain stopped, the next step, cleaning and assessing the damage.
Get the water out, take inventory, see what's damaged, see what's not damaged, and try to make the best of it.
National Grid says more than 1,500 customers throughout the city of Watertown lost power today during the worst part of the storm. John?
All right, Chris Spiker, thank you very much. Well, getting all of that rainwater at once overwhelmed the pipes at Watertown High School, causing a rupture. 7 News reporter Garrett Domblewski is live at the high school to show us the results. Garrett.
John, cleanup is underway after flooding at 4 schools in the Watertown City School District, but the worst of that flooding was here at the high school.
It was pouring in like a waterfall, basically.
Heavy rain caused an old drain pipe to burst inside Watertown High School, flooding the lower level and other parts of the building. Employees from across the school district are helping with the cleanup. About 24 classrooms are flooded. The pipe is fixed, but it couldn't be worked on until the rain stops. A big part of the cleanup is just getting the water out.
We're just trying to push it towards openings, doors, drains, anything to get it out of the building.
While the worst of the flooding happened at the high school, Wiley Intermediate plus Sherman and North Elementary schools all are dealing with some flooding as well.
Sherman is probably cleaned up at this point. North is probably close to being cleaned up, and Watertown High School, will take much longer to clean this area up.
Watertown Superintendent Patty LaBarre says with only a few more weeks before school starts, at least the storm came sooner rather than later.
If this storm had to come through, I'm not happy it came through at all, but better today than in a few weeks from now.
The first day of class at the high school is on September 7th. Officials say the flooding won't have any effect on school opening up. John?
Garrett Domblewski, thank you. The St. Lawrence County Court building also had to be evacuated during the storm. County Administrator Ruth Doyle says the storm drains in Canton couldn't handle the heavy rain, which caused water to leak into the courthouse building. That tripped the fire alarm, which prompted an evacuation. Doyle says between 50 and 70 people, including staff and members of the public, had to leave at the height of the storm. They took shelter in the public safety complex across the street. After about 20 minutes, everyone was allowed back in. Doyle says crews are working to repair fallen ceiling tiles and flooding damage. At the height of the storm, nearly 6,000 National Grid customers lost power. Lewis County hardest hit as the lights went off to more than 3,000 households during the worst of the storm. Just over 2,700 customers in Jefferson County lost power, most of them in Watertown and the town of Brownville. A much different story in St. Lawrence County, with only 39 customers losing power. Those numbers have come down dramatically as crews are working to restore service. State police are on the scene of a fatal accident on Interstate 81 in southern Jefferson County. That happened this afternoon just north of the Pierpont Manor exit. The northbound lanes of Interstate 81 are closed to traffic between exits 40 and 41. We believe one person has been killed in this crash, and it only involves one car, which appears to have struck a guardrail. State police are reconstructing the accident scene tonight. Well, tonight, the North Country reacts to the president's speech about Afghanistan. Last night, President Trump addressed the nation about sending more troops overseas, but there are questions about his speech, including the impact on the North Country. 7 News reporter Amanda Corna is live in our studio tonight with more on this story. Amanda.
John, the president didn't specify when or how many troops could be sent, just that the U.S. can't abandon Afghanistan. Another thing that wasn't mentioned was where troops would be deployed from, so we don't know if Fort Drum could send soldiers overseas. Fort Drum Regional Liaison Organization's Executive Director Brian Ashley says the 10th Mountain Division is always ready if it's called upon to serve. He also noted the economic impact if troops here are deployed.
We lost a brigade, and we're down from our highest level. We're about 15,000 soldiers. If you send some of those overseas, then they're not going to be here spending money on the local economy.
We also got a statement from U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand about the president's speech. She said when committing American service members overseas, the commander-in-chief needs to clearly define the mission and a strategy to achieve success. John?
All right, Amanda Corna, thank you very much. And still to come, the bars, the balance beam, somersaults, all part of gymnastics camp at the Watertown Y. And the IHC boys looking for more of same. They want to build on last year's success. Mel has sports coming up.
From the North Country's news station, you're watching 7 News this evening with Jeff Cole. Tonight's weather with John Kubis. And your North Country sports with Mel Bussler.
Hurry, it's the final days of the Ford Summer Sales Event.
I'll jump out and guide you back.
Easy, son. This is going to blow your mind.
Whoa, awesome. That is really cool.
Take on summer right with Ford, America's best-selling brand. It's our best offer of the year on F-150. Get 0% for 72 months plus an additional $1,000 on top of your trade-in.
Now lease a 2017 F-150 4x4 with EcoBoost for $219 a month. Just $219. Only at your local Ford store.
For over 30 years, I've had the distinct privilege to represent workers and their families tragically injured by asbestos disease. You see, the asbestos industry for decades knew of the dangers of asbestos, yet intentionally hid it from the public. If you or a family member was exposed to asbestos at one of the job sites listed on your screen and have been diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer, please call Lipsitz and Pontario today.
You like salty and I like sweet. I need blankets, all you need are sheets. Come on, let's spoon. Sleep into noon. Day in, day out. It's a merry-go-round. I say up and you say down. Different we are and different we'll be. Happy together, not reverie.
Just Face It, brought to you by Massey's Furniture Barn.
Time for Just Face It, and today a veterans support ride raises cash and awareness. Now this was on Saturday. The Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association started a ride in Adams Center, and one of 3 stops was for a ceremony at the 10th Mountain Division Monument at Watertown's Thompson Park. That ceremony to honor past and present 10th Mountain Division soldiers, and speaking was retired Command Sergeant Major James Redman. The ride ended at the Carthage VFW. Proceeds went to benefit local veterans organizations. Our thanks to Wendy Boisford, who sent in this video, and send in yours. It just might make our next Just Face It. Up next, John Kubis is in with the forecasts. Stay tuned.
Technology is all around us. Stay connected to it all with Spectrum. Spectrum TV has superior HD picture and sound, and access to thousands of on-demand titles, including primetime favorites, for only $29.99 per month. Just call 844-376-2999. Spectrum Internet has the fastest internet starting speeds for the price, and enough bandwidth to keep everyone's devices connected without lag or data caps, plus a free modem, so you can surf and stream for only $29.99 per month. Spectrum Voice lets you talk all you want to family and friends in the U.S., Canada, Mexico, and more with unlimited nationwide calling and no added taxes or fees. In a world filled with technology, Spectrum delivers. No contracts and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Call 844-376-2999. Spectrum TV, Internet, and Voice. $29.99 per month each. Call now. 844-376-2999.
I'm here to pick up my mother's diabetic supplies.
Yes, of course.
Hey, Mom.
Hey.
I completely forgot about Jackie's birthday tomorrow. Do you think you could pick me up a card and a couple of gifts?
Okay.
Hey, Jan.
Hi, honey.
Joey's definitely got allergies.
Hello.
Hi, Mommy. Are you still at Kenny's?
Would some Legos make you feel better, honey?
Yeah.
Oh, I earned that.
We've got this. Oh, and the fish.
Which one should I start with?
Oh, birthday cake.
Now, tonight's weather.
We had that earlier line of showers and thunderstorms move on through. No rest for the wary as another line of showers and storms is heading through the Watertown area. And well, there you see it, the yellows indicating the moderate rainfall right up the Route 11 corridor, if you will, towards Canton and Potsdam. And also say southern portions of Lewis County getting in on some of that light to moderate at times rainfall. Now the actual cold front hasn't moved through quite yet. Until it does so, we run the risk for some showers and possibly a thunderstorm. Speaking of thunderstorms, tornado watch in effect until 9 p.m. I think for the most part the threat has diminished considerably, but still the North Country is still under that tornado watch for the next couple of hours. Anyways, as far as current warnings, a lakeshore flood warning in effect for Jefferson County, courtesy of the high water levels on Lake Ontario, and also the very strong wind gusts behind this cold front that's going to be moving on through. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for eastern portions of Jefferson County and also northern portions of Lewis County for the next couple of minutes until 6:30. Biggest threat will be gusty winds, but we can't rule out the potential for maybe some small hail as well. 66 degrees right now, winds from the west-southwest at about 11. Those winds were gusting to the middle to upper 30s. About an hour or so ago at the airport and also here in the city of Watertown as well. Dew points in the muggy middle 60s. Oh, how that'll change later on tonight and during the course of the day tomorrow. Pressure right now is low and it continues to fall as that cold front heads our way. Our high 84, our low 66. Checking out your 30-year averages. Yeah, we're a little off on both ends in the positive direction. Average high 78. Average low 56. Your record's 88 set back in 1974. It was a chilly one back in 1988. We bottomed out at 34 degrees. Outside right now throughout the North Country, temperatures still in the mild end of things. They haven't fallen off all that much quite yet. 75 in Messina, 65 at Old Forge, 72 in Lowville. Kingston currently chiming in at 70 degrees. 70 in Ottawa, 74 in Buffalo. Nice and mild in Detroit. They're at 80 degrees with less humidity. Nice and humid in Harrisville, or Harrisburg, I should say, they're at 89. 81 right now down in the Big Apple. Temperatures throughout the North Country, or excuse me, throughout the United States. 97 in Dallas, 74 degrees in Minneapolis, mid-80s in Seattle, 106 in Phoenix. Here it comes, that blue line, that cold front, and behind the front, much cooler, drier air will be working on through. It looks like later on tonight, and a little preview of fall headed our way. It looks like starting during the day tomorrow. Highs only in the upper 60s to lower 70s with much less in the way of humidity. Your lows tonight pretty much in the lower to 60s to upper 50s. That risk of an evening shower, possibly a thunderstorm once again. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of Jefferson County until 6:30. During the course of the day tomorrow, highs only around 70 to 72 degrees. The risk of a shower in the afternoon. Otherwise, we start the day with some morning sunshine. Evening showers, possibly a thunderstorm in Lewis County. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect. Northern portions until 6:30. Your lows, middle to upper 50s. Tomorrow, the risk of an afternoon shower. Cool in Osceola, 65 for the high, 71s in Lowville and Harrisville. Evening showers, possibly a thunderstorm in St. Lawrence County. 53 in Wanakena, 58 in Norfolk. Tomorrow, the risk of an afternoon shower, 74 in Messina, 68 in Wanakena. Checking out your extended forecast. Maybe a shower on Thursday, but a coolish day. Highs only around 67. Mostly sunny on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but notice your temperatures running a few degrees below the average. Highs in the lower 70s with your lows in the mid-50s and remaining dry, at least for the first couple of days next week. Plan on doing some boating this evening. There's a small craft advisory in effect courtesy of those winds, and those waves will be picking up and the risk of a thunderstorm as well. And on to today's weather class question, which is brought to you by Mahoney's Auto Mall. Here are two smoking deals at Mahoney's. A 2017 Chevy Impala LT for $18,995 and a 2015 Ford F-150 4x4 Crew Cab XLT for $27,777. Now, what does a hook indicate on Doppler radar? Large hail, gusty winds, heavy rain, or tornado? What do you think? D. A tornado.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
Very apropos to today. Yeah. All right, from that preview of fall to a preview of fall sports.
Yeah, we're going to focus in on soccer once again today. The Immaculate Heart boys practicing earlier this morning. I've got that story. And the latest as we go down memory lane with your career,
no.
John.
Oh, no,
Stay
not
tuned.
again. No.
When homes are selling fast, who can ensure you'll get the most money for yours? I'm Barbara Corcoran, and I've managed agents who have sold homes for thousands of dollars over list price. The key is to hire the agent with a smart, aggressive marketing plan. In Watertown and the Thousand Islands region, no agent markets quite like Jason Smith. Jason's advanced marketing allows him to offer you an immediate buyout program with flexible fees. Go to jasonsmithrealestate.com and get top dollar for your home.
We're all about great deals at Shorelines Casinos. Check out Shorelines Casino Thousand Islands and their $9.99 prime rib and 2 lobster tail dinner. Shorelines Casino Belleville's 1-pound T-bone steak buffet won't break the bank. Only $12.99. At Shoreline Slots at Kawartha Downs, enjoy a fish and chips dinner for $6.99. Every Thursday this month, Shorelines Casinos is playing Deal Breaker. Open one of 9 cases for your chance to win $5,000 cash. Shorelines Casinos, where Ontario comes to play.
Closed captioning brought to you by Mead Optical, with offices in Lowville and at 1000 Washington Street in Watertown. Proudly serving the North Country for over 100 years. We're looking out for you.
New York Connects is very special to me. I love my son. It just was so heartbreaking to watch your only child suffer and not being able to get services or help. They were able to just put the pieces together for me. They helped me to be a better person for my son and for myself.
New York connects you to independence. To learn more about long-term care services and supports, contact New York Connects at 1-800-342-9871.
Now your North Country sports.
The Immaculate Heart boys soccer team moved up to Class B last season. After a successful season that included a league playoff title, the Cavaliers hoping to take another step forward. The Cavaliers finished 11-6-1 overall last season, 5-4 in league play. Immaculate Heart won the Frontier League Playoff Championship and made it to the Section 3 Class B quarterfinals. Cavaliers lost 3 players to graduation, but return a strong nucleus for this season.
I really do think we're going to do well this year. We've got a lot of talent. The experience is going to be a key, and I believe that we have a lot of players that can play different positions, different roles on the field. So it'll give me a chance Saturday when we start scrimmaging. It'll give us a chance to really look at the team and see what we've got and how we're going to do this season.
Even though we did lose 3 seniors, we do have a lot of strong players returning who do have a lot of skill that I hope to build off. We hope to build off and do a lot of great things this season.
This year we have some talent definitely, but since we are still so young, we may lack in some skills, but we make up for it in the chemistry that we've been playing together since a very young age.
We're a very young team with a great skill level. I think we have some great chances of having a successful season.
After scrimmaging this coming weekend, it starts for real on August 31st.
We play our first non-league game a week from this Thursday, August 31st. It's TI at home, so that will be our first game. And then I believe when we get back to school, we start up with Indian River will be our first league game.
It will be the Cavaliers' second season in Class B. Look for Immaculate Heart to improve on its record this season. 3-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. is being listed as day-to-day with a sprained left ankle. Speaking on a conference call today, New York Giants coach Ben McAdoo didn't give any details about Beckham's ankle, refusing to say whether the injury in a preseason loss to Cleveland on Monday night was a high sprain, which usually takes longer to recover from. McAdoo said the team will wait to see how Beckham responds to treatment. An MRI on the ankle was negative. One of the NFL's most dynamic players, Beckham was hurt after being hit around the knee by defensive back Brian Bodie Calhoun after catching a pass. The impact flipped Beckham onto the side of his head, which bounced off the turf. Army-Navy football game will be played in Philadelphia 4 times from 2018 to 2022, returning to its most frequent host city. The Academies held a news conference today at Philadelphia City Hall to announce the site of the 2018, 19, 20, and 22 Army-Navy games. The cadets and midshipmen will play at Lincoln Financial Field, home of the Philadelphia Eagles. A news conference planned by Army and Navy and game sponsor USAA for later today at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, the home of the New York Giants and New York Jets. It's expected to host the 2021 Army-Navy game. Army-Navy already is scheduled this season for Philadelphia, where the rivals have met 86 times. And you know, we're continuing our look at your career.
We are?
One of your first jobs was covering Woodstock.
Oh, really?
And
oh, yes.
we happen to have a picture of you there.
Oh, yes.
Yes, on the left, and you were doing an interview there. How was Woodstock? Was
I don't remember anything about it, so it was a good time.
It must have been a great
time.
time. There you go, then. Oh, very good.
Mel, your people are working overtime.
Yes, they are.
Good for them.
Well,
back in a moment.
What if there was a place
where dreams are fostered,
where challenges are celebrated,
where time is well spent,
a place where you don't feel lost in the crowd,
where we're not just a number,
with programs designed just for me,
and for me,
and for me?
What if that place was closer than you think?
Contact nccc.edu for more information.
It's Morrison's summer inventory overstock sell-off on La-Z-Boy furniture. Save 20 to 50% off our entire La-Z-Boy furniture collection. It's a huge inventory of discontinued items, floor samples, closeouts, overstocks, and more. When you're looking for the best in reclining furniture, look for La-Z-Boy, and Morrison's is the only La-Z-Boy comfort studio in the Watertown area. Now at Morrison's 100,000 square foot superstore at 230 Factory Street, Watertown's largest home furnishings showroom.
When I finally convinced Art that he needed hearing aids, we started looking different places, and he started doing some research, and he came up with Hearing Solutions. Amy is just a blessing, and she makes you feel so comfortable. She shows you what the test, she explains everything to you. Amy is a person you should see, because it's like having a good next door neighbor when you come in here.
Finally tonight, a week at camp. Somersaults and balance beams, some of the gymnastic exercises kids are doing at the Fairgrounds YMCA in Watertown this week. Around 30 children ages 5 and up are at the camp. The program at the YMCA that runs from September to June is the only competitive program in the area, but this week's camp is mostly for fun.
A lot of these kids aren't in our classes, so they just come in. It's a fun activity for them, and like I said, the eye-hand coordination and the other things that it teaches them transfers into their other sports.
Looks like a lot of fun if you're young and limber. Certainly an eventful day of weather. Let's get caught up briefly with John Kubas and see what we can look forward to this evening. John.
Still dealing with that as tornado watch until 9 p.m. Looks like as far as warnings, lakeshore flood warning in effect until tomorrow. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for northern Lewis County, courtesy of more in the way of showers and thunderstorms rolling on through. Things should quiet down later on tonight and tomorrow, looking like a coolish day.
And let's find out what's coming up tonight at 11 with Jeff Nelson.
Well, as John Kubas just mentioned, with all the weather we've had, the lake is expected to get choppy. We'll go out there and see how it looks tonight. Plus, we are following a fatal accident investigation in the town of Ellisburg on Interstate 81. John, we'll have both those stories and more coming up tonight.
Very good. Thank you, Jeff. CBS News is next. Thanks for watching. Good night.